a little bit at least. But in terms of art and everything else, is there something better that, say, right-leaning or conservative? I mean, you described yourself before as an old-school liberal. I mean, that's what put me on the map. I was trying to save liberalism from the left 5 years ago or 7 years ago. But for any of us that are roughly freedom-loving, you just want people to live and let live kind of people, what can we do culturally or artistically or through the type of work that you do to turn this thing around? Because it's not going to be the political leaders that turn it around, obviously.
Yeah, we can't do anything because that's not the purpose of art. Art is the conjunction of inspiration with an audience. That the artist has some inspiration, and if the inspiration is reducible to be kind to black people or hate white people or people dying of cancer deserve our compassion, that's not inspiration. So that's what art is. Art is very closely akin to religion, and it's not at all connected to politics or culture. Art, it's like the oyster, right? The oyster makes the pearl, but the oyster can't use the pearl. But other people can use the pearl, but the oyster can't. The oyster isn't making that pearl to influence people to dress up their honey when they go out to the nightclub, right? The oyster has to make the pearl. It's going to go nuts. There's nothing that art can do. What we can do is speak the truth to each other and not give in. And not because it's the daily erosion of life of I'm going to tell you my 5 pronouns, or you liked, you wait a second, you have to identify yourself, or are you vaccinated? This constant shepherding each other day to day, which is killing. And to be able to deal with this retail is exhausting. It has to be dealt with wholesale. And the way the individual deals with wholesale, say, thanks, I'm not playing that game. It's like what we learned from, I learned anyway from my, gay friends, gay liberation 40 years ago. We're here, we're queer, get used to it, right? It's not my problem that I'm gay, right? If you got a problem with it, that's your problem. Mm-hmm. So that's what we have to do. We have to speak up and say, in effect, we're here, we're queer, get used to it. Because then it starts to crumble a little bit. When that look on people's face, when you've seen it, where they say, "Oh my God, he's not playing my game."
Mm-hmm. That actually gets nicely